Hello everybody, welcome back. Let's have a look at a bit of these charts then, shall we? I'll flick through some of my favourite alts setups. Actually, Bitcoin SV can come off now, to be fair. I think it's done. It's done its things. That has been the alt trade of the week, maybe of the month, in fact, for a while. I can't remember something being quite so epic as that. Entry from 33. Obviously, I didn't take profit at the absolute top of this, but yeah, brilliant. Ethereum then, shall we? We'll start with Ethereum as we'll move on to Bitcoin, because Bitcoin, long story short, Bitcoin looks good. Ethereum weekly still looks pretty weak AF with a move up to potentially 1740. That could be fine, still in a bearish position. But if you zoom out, there is a horizontal of significance really. This area, we've been hoping it'll bounce from it. There has been a bit of a bounce, bit anemic, but it is bouncing. Rejection on this weekly before we even hit any major moving average. So it's not going to break bullish until we close above this level, 1740, 1750. Take it to a daily. What's going on over here? Oh dear, oh dear. Rejection on 50 exponential again yesterday, but support on the 20 and the 21 exponential, which is good. Okay, it's not amazing. Let's face it, it's not amazing, but it's better than nothing. Couple that with this long drawn out picture of bullish divergence that we've had since we were coming down to this low level in August. It's been a long time in the making, so a couple of months almost of this bullish divergence might be enough to allow us to actually break out and move up. Now, obviously, everybody's calling for alts to be wrecked city, and for the most part, they're probably right. Alts don't look very good or very attractive on their own, which is why when I talk about these alt seasons, or these potential alt seasons or alt rallies, I try and highlight a couple of charts specifically of good-looking charts, compared to Bitcoin, because they have to have a better setup or at least similar setup to Bitcoin. Otherwise, it's not really likely to work out at all. So Bitcoin SV had a great chart. That's worked out really well. INJ got a good chart as well, as good or better perhaps than Bitcoin. So this is something that's likely to outperform Bitcoin on the way up, which is why I made a dedicated video to it. Surprisingly, XRP is also one of those, very similar to a Bitcoin SV chart. In fact, I'll just show this again. Bitcoin SV is like a baby version of the XRP chart. And again, I'm just trying to hit something home to the people who don't quite understand what I'm talking about. When I call that alt season, this isn't 2021. This isn't 2017, where everybody and their mother buys an altcoin regardless of what it is or what it does, and it all just goes up because the volume and the liquidity is high. Everybody's talking about crypto. That's not what is going on if there's anything going on at all. Charts get traded on their own merit, and sometimes, if you're lucky, we get a rotation from Bitcoin to altcoins. That's the best we can hope for in this period in the market. Most likely the best we can hope for a little while. So here's Bitcoin SV, right? So before this big move, so just forget about that big move that's happened, right? That's not what it looked like when I was talking about it. It looked like this. This is what the chart looks like when I was talking about it, I think a week ago today. So we had a big move up, long consolidation, and more or less holding within 200 exponential, 50 exponential, holding its place, doing okay, holding its place. In fact, the 4 hourly, because again, we're looking at a miniature version of the XRP chart. So the 4 hourly is probably a good way to think about what the XRP chart is currently doing. So big move up, long consolidation, oh dear, lost the Bollinger Band, rejection, rejection, all the way down to a 200 exponential, where it was holding, managed to gain support there, managed to gain support here, reclaimed a Bollinger Band, and lo and behold, we moved up and had a decent rally. Again, I appreciate I'm boring you all to death, but this is basically what I'm seeing here for XRP. So we had a big, massive move up. Forget about that this was a move given to us by the SEC. Before that even happened, we were talking about a rally potentially taking us between 60 and 90 anyway, without the SEC. This is what XRP likes to do when it breaks out of a long-drawn descending triangle. But without boring you to death about the overall market cycle, because I talk about it often enough, that's generally what it likes to do. So we had that big move up. We had a massive consolidation. We had problems in the market. But look, it's messy because the market has been messy, and this was a contrived move born from the SEC, but generally completing a second portion of the market cycle pump. We more or less held support, on the 200 simple moving average on this daily. We did lose it, but now we've reclaimed a Bollinger Band, and we've been above that. We came above for a little while all the moving averages, and just recently, as of yesterday, we've managed to get back above it again. And this is the main area, the 51.5 cents, call it 52, and 53 now being the 200 simple moving average, which again is still technically uptrending. It's gone horizontal now, but it has been uptrending for a little while given the size of the move. So that is kind of okay, really. So what we're looking at here, I believe, is a similar kind of scenario to what what we saw with Bitcoin SV. Similar, not identical, similar. It's a similar setup. It's actually not quite as neat and tidy as the Bitcoin SV chart. But it's a very similar one. So if that's the case, similar to how, just like how Bitcoin SV actually rallied beyond its previous high, XRP ought to be rallying beyond its previous local high. The local high. So XRP again, highlighted as definitely a decent potential mover there. Chainlink, probably one of the better chart structures. So similar to INJ, Chainlink is actually pretty awesome. So here we find ourselves breaking out of I've not got the line in here, but it's effectively what you see is a consolidation breakout. Boom, there you go. You've also got a consolidation breakout of RSI. Boom, there you go. And we're about to turn up above a 0 point over here on the MACD, which is good. Bang. Lovely. What we'd also like to see, which might happen, it's not happened yet, would be a blue cross a red, so conversion baseline cross on the Ichimoku cloud, giving us a trend signal. But without the Ichi cloud, it doesn't really matter. This is a decent chart with decent strength, golden cross on simples and exponentials, and looking to move and trend up higher. 4 hourly is basically the same as well, so we've got this big move up, consolidated into 200 exponential, into the simple, retest, breakout, up and away we go. And this one has got a pump signal that was generated back down here at 754. So really good, to be honest, really good setup there. So we do have altcoins, and we have had altcoins this week and possibly into next week, that will outperform Bitcoin based on their own charts. Significant, decent moves that will continue on on their own merit. So let's have a look at Bitcoin, what's going on over here. So yesterday, obviously, epic move. Nice to see us back up in this range. So now the support exists below at 28,500, the prior resistance, and the new resistance is basically the previous local high. There is also some resistance more or less where we're at right now, basically where we're at right now, where a lot of these candle bodies and wicks sort of existed, which is roughly just short of 30,000, so it's about 29,900. Looking good. Crossed above the 0 point, no bearish divergence. Money flow index is in a relatively safe zone, so we can actually go up quite high on this one without feeling like we're peaked. We've also got pump signal as well that was generated at the breakout zone of 28,500. So all is looking good. But one thing I want to show you before I go, because again, there's nothing much more to say. The analysis for most of what I'm talking about continues. It's not really changed for quite a while. And it's feeling more and more positive now. I'm going to show you this. So this is a Bitcoin dominance chart. Breakout, descending triangle, continuation up. Money flow index high, but obviously it doesn't mean a great deal. So that's your daily. Obviously the 4 hourly, looking kind of similar. 2 drives of bearish divergence on the 4 hourly, possibly coming down as a result of that. We were hoping that we were going to get a rejection on the 200 simple and exponential on the weekly. We didn't. We actually got a breakout, and we're looking to continue on with that. Previously, we have had resistances shown to us on this 200 simple and exponential, but it was only one tick on that and a second tick on the exponential. Oh, third tick, sorry. So in the past, it has proven to have done something, but this time around, it certainly did not. Now, if you take it to a monthly, there is, again, this chart is not very old, so we don't have a great deal of history. But what we can see on this is that we're teasing the top of the Bollinger Band. We're also teasing a 50 simple and exponential on a monthly. Last time we sort of did that was back around here, September 2019, and we saw a decent consolidation for quite a period of time leading into what was the 2020, sort of, I suppose it felt like it was a bit of a bear market for alts really at this stage, really. Alts got smashed and beaten up quite badly until finally we reached a peak on the dominance chart. It's like a double top really, and then we all became, well, very wealthy as a result of that. So that was a good time. Now, look, if we're going to get a rejection based on a moving average, this is the only other moving average that we can hold on to. It's not a call. I'm not saying this is it. Get your kidneys out, stick them on eBay. You'll get them back once you've taken profit. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is it's something to look at, something to take on board. Ethereum has bounced from a support. That's fine. Yes, some altcoins look better than others, XRP being one, which holds a decent market cap. Ethereum, obviously, a huge market cap. It's not a nothing. It does exist. This is something just for you to think about and go, okay, we have done this before, and we did have an alt season. It wasn't amazing. It wasn't 2021. It wasn't huge, but we did see a drop of around 22%. If we saw a drop on this one, based around how we've reacted on Bollinger Bands on this monthly in the past, we might find ourselves pulling back to the tune of roughly around 13%. That's right. I'm not saying that that's what's going to happen. I'm saying at best that could happen. That is the best scenario based on this monthly chart. And for all the Captain Noob Masters out there who can't quite grasp what I'm saying here, I'm not saying that this is going to happen. I'm saying that this could happen. And if it were to happen, that's the best you could imagine it to happen. Also, remember that this is a monthly, and months are not minutes. Months are not the 15-minute chart. They're not the daily chart. They're not even a weekly chart. They're a monthly chart, which means it can take ages for this to even do anything, if it does anything at all. So remember that. I'm sure most of you do. I'm sure most of you completely understand that I'm showing you something, not telling you something's going to happen. This is not a crystal ball, by the way. It's just statistical, technical analysis and recognizing that actually, this has happened in the past. Doesn't mean it's going to happen again, but it has happened in the past. So it's worth bringing it to your attention. Right, outside of that, though, Bitcoin, to be fair, looks like it wants to break this area. Like I say, plenty of momentum, no lack of momentum. Plenty of volume can come back into this without feeling peaked, which means that Bitcoin probably going to move up into the 30,000s, maybe even try and test the all-time high. I would imagine a front run scenario takes place. No one's going to want to hold Bitcoin up till the previous wick high. That would be kind of crazy for derivatives and futures. It's also worth noting that stocks kind of went to wreck city over the last week. The last few weeks, to be fair. This is your monthly chart on the S&P. Oh dear, but we did close pretty nasty yesterday. A lot of this being the fault of Tesla, and Tesla had poor earnings, and then completely massive chaos took place in the market. So look, S&P, Nasdaq, they're all down as a result of Tesla. So we'll see what happens after in Monday open. But interesting, the decoupling has continued. Gold, in fact, still rallying quite high, managing to get a rejection short of 2,000. So this is what I'm talking about. Front run. Someone wants to take profit before everybody else does. Never go for the round numbers. I'm going to sell all my gold at 2,000 because it's nice, neat number. No. You want to sell it at 1996.76. That's where you want to sell it, to make sure that you take Captain Noobmaster's money and don't get caught, in the order books and never seen again. To be fair, though, gold does look good for continuation into next week, but the money flow index has read quite hot over here, so would not want to really get into any more long positions on gold. That has been a decent move, but I wouldn't advise taking any long positions at this level. If anything, you'd have to wait for another move back down, if anything, back down to 19. Anyways, it's quite a long video. Sorry to keep you, watching such a boring stuff over the weekend. If you made it to the end of the video, please leave me a like and a comment. It's meant to be good for the algorithm, and the trolls are the ones who seem to be leaving the majority of the comments these days. But I don't know why. I presented some very decent stuff this week, and not that I'm asking anybody to do what I say, but just to at least recognise that what I have said this week has yielded in the case of Bitcoin SV at least, a 70% gain. Right, in a week. Right, thanks for watching. Take it easy.